process easier.
Absolutely. By the way, Gboyega, yesterday, did you notice I was experiencing a lot of network disruption, and I started to think that perhaps the disruption to the services said by a certain telecoms company had started. I was wondering if that was the cause.
I did
you
too.
experience?
Yes, I did.
I wonder if that's the cause. Whatever the reason, don't forget that today you can be a part of the show. Today and every other day of the week that Panorama holds. You can be a part of the show via our social media channels. We're on Facebook. We are on WhatsApp. Find us on Facebook and watch us live at Splash FM 106.7. And on WhatsApp, drop us a comment on the number 0817-555-1067. My name is Lola Meduteni.
All right, let's get straight to our issue of the day. Don't forget that this program is distinctly divided into two segments. The first part of the program is the issue of the day. And the second segment is where we take a look at the newspapers, taking a look at stories making rounds across the country. But let's start now. The rearing of cattle has become a national debate. The heightened interest in the subject of cattle and how best to feed them dates back to 2018, when the federal government, through the then Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Abeokuta, proposed to establish cattle colonies in different parts of the country. It was, however, widely rejected, with many viewing it as an audacious attempt to grab lands across the 36 states of Nigeria for a certain ethnic group.
The following year, in May, the same minister disclosed that the president had approved the implementation of rural grazing area Ruga settlements to put an end to the recurring herders-farmers conflict. That announcement was equally met with a national outcry from both. The plan was ultimately shelved. Just as before, the general consensus appeared to be that it was an attempt by the federal government to forcibly collect land from citizens and hand them over to herdsmen.
The year before, at a briefing in Abuja on 19 June 2018, the National Economic Council had presented the National Livestock Transformation Plan as its initiative to, in collaboration with states, put an end to the age-long herders-farmers crisis and massively improve the livestock industry. It was inaugurated a year later. 3 years later, the current Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Sabo Nanono, says 22 states are the reserves for its implementation.
It must also be added that on 2nd June 2020, the federal government declared it would revive grazing reserves in 21 out of the 36 states of the Federation, sparking heated conversations. Now, let us get to the developments so far this year. On the 9th of February 2021, all 19 members of the Northern Governors Forum met virtually and thereafter issued a communique saying that the forum notes with concern that the current system of herding, conducted mainly through open grazing, is no longer sustainable in view of growing urbanization.
Virtual meeting to end the practice of nomadic rearing of cattle in view of its increasing adverse to discuss issues of common interest. Unlike its northern counterpart, this was not a body that had met in years, and so its meeting and 12-point communique.
Consequently, the meeting resolved that open grazing of cattle be banned across southern Nigeria. Conflict between migrant herders and local population in the south. Given this scenario, it becomes imperative to enforce the ban on open grazing in the south, including cattle movement to south by foot.
While the ban on open grazing by the SGF had the approval of many eager to end the incessant herdsman crisis, it was subsequently criticized by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami.
It's about constitutionality within the context of the freedoms expressed in our Constitution, enshrined in our Constitution. Can you deny a right of a Nigerian? For example, it's as good as saying freedom and liberty of movement that it can bring about any compromise on the freedom and liberty of individuals to move around.
The president thereafter revealed in an interview that he had directed the Attorney General of the Federation to dig up the Gazette and retrace and recover the grazing routes from the First Republic
of these takes, as well as the subject of modern cattle rearing in the 21st century. Once again, you can join us in the conversation by not only listening, you can also watch us on our Facebook where we're live streaming. Search for Splash FM 106.7 and you'll find us there. You can also drop us a comment on our WhatsApp page. It's 0817 with us, Kayode Ajulo, who is a lawyer. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Hello, good morning. Morning is my
Southern governors in May banned open grazing in all the southern states. And that resolution by the southern governors has not been met well by the federal government. In fact, the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, finds it to be unconstitutional. What say you to this?
Well, I think I have, with others, I've already made our position known, particularly with the big part between the governors and the federal government as represented by the Attorney General. The issue is so clear, and I must say this in a way of, not that I'm digressing, the essence of Nigeria, the foundation of which Nigeria as a country is built upon its rule of law, that is to do everything in accordance with the law. And anytime there's any deviation, that is why we have this issue, that is why we have this strife, and that's why you see the call for secession continue to thrive, because we failed to follow the law. As it is so clear that the governors, they are sovereign of their state. When I say the sovereign, they are the government, and they are being empowered to govern their state in accordance with the law. If today they say that there will be nothing and nothing should be done, particularly when it comes to open grazing, and they made it known in accordance to the law, so be it. It is so disturbing to see the federal government, because let us be real, we have the Constitution, the Land Use Act is being incorporated into the Constitution, and the Land Use Act gives the governor the power to superintend over land, ending or supervision of land in Nigeria. And that is what did some of us follow. You see, when the law of it is not the federal government who hold the land in trust of the people. If the owner, we're talking of the titular owner of that land, can say this is what we want, the question is that how come those that have nothing to do with the land continue to make some noise? That is where we have this. And that is one of the things that even disturb most of us. We have been saying that the federal government has taken over most of the powers belonging even to the state and to the region. Yes, despite that, we need to, even to the government. The federal government still want to superintend over it, still want to lord over it. It's like I have my house, I have my family. I'm telling my wife and my children that at so hour, we need not even go to the legality of whatever it is. This is a very simple issue on that issue of land.
Is it really so simple if the AGF is citing the Constitution, particularly Section 41 of the 1999 Constitution that grants freedom of movement to Nigerians? We heard him earlier saying that a ban on open grazing would be tantamount to northern governors choosing to as well ban spare parts traders from dealing in spare parts in their sections. So the freedom of movement as enshrined in the Constitution, how does it come in terms of, this ban on open grazing?
I have a very high regard for the Attorney General of Federation, a leader of the bar, a senior advocate in Nigeria. I know what it is. As a lawyer, I know what it is to be a senior advocate in Nigeria. And I want to believe that when it comes to competence,
right,
it's competence to hold our office, it's competent to be a lawyer, it's competent to give advice. But we should try to distinguish political advice from legal advice. If the Attorney General is saying, I'm saying this based on foundation of politics, of interest, yes, but to say it under the cover of the law is something that's so wrong. Look, fundamental human rights is not absolute. It is not automatic. When it comes to that, what you mentioned, section 41, is so clear. Yes, we all have freedom of movement, but your freedom of movement stops where your own freedom starts from. For example, you have your radio station FM. I can't say because I have freedom of a movement, decided today to move to your office to now set up my law firm there. I'm sure your directory is within the agriculture industry. It is a business. It's a private business. Anybody can have business. So part of the same law is that you cannot come to my house to set spare parts except I invited you. That is what you cannot. Even in Alaba, they have the time, the period in which every other federal government agency. If you are not licensed, you cannot say because you have freedom of expression. Nobody is allowing you to do that. The same way, what we are saying is you can fly your plane, you can take your cow, you can take care of them, but they should not start taking them from Nook and Coney of our land because someone owns the land. If you need to do that, why don't you buy the land? What stops anybody from saying I'm going to buy about 10 or 10, 20 kilometers of land, so I want to take my things around that. That is what, and this is what we should understand. But today, the open grazing has turned to an issue where you have your farm. Anybody can just come over there to start grazing. And again, I maybe actually have open grazing before the state governors in rightfully tried to ban it. So I think we should understand it. Total ban is different from regulation. That ban of open grazing is just a regulation to regulate the way you will do your pastoring, and that's what it is. It should not be turned upside down. And like I said, freedom of movement is not absolute. I should go to Ministry of Justice, to the chambers of Attorney General, to say because I'm a good trader or group, I was blacklisted, I was disturbed, and I quickly asked what the president is to re-echo that submission to say that there is a grazing routes law by the Northern region. This is a fallacy. It is the law that the latter laws supersede the former. As at the time in 1964, when that grazing rules come into being, after that, in 70s of land to governors of respective states, that land use act has already superseded and has already cleared whatever grazing route. And secondly, I've checked again, the grazing route law of 1964, the president is mentioning, is a regional, is a state law. It now sounds very funny to see the federal government being the champion of a state. The Professor Gambari, which I rightly believe that is the one advising the president. He's not even a lawyer. And to so do this, up to now, he's yet to come back to say what he did in 2018 is totally wrong. And who knows, if that is the reason why he got this job as chief of staff, I think Nigeria needs to let him know that he's totally wrong. By the fact that the Constitution has already adopted it, an absolute law that, and even let's ask the question, it is within the region where, in the northern area, Ondo State has never been part of the northern region. Osun State has never been part of northern. Oyo State has never been part of northern. Except the president will now say that he wants to override the law and turn himself to the law, having sworn to uphold the law and to defend the law of Federal Republic of Nigeria, to say he's going to use the law. It's like saying, because we have a law in Ondo State, for example, traditional rulers law in Ondo State, to use it in Sakoto. It can never be. I want to believe who is advising the president. He's not advising the president properly. And maybe I need to use this opportunity to ask Professor Gambari to clarify his position on that, because this may set Nigeria on fire.
Okay, now speaking of who is advising the president, what would you say, do you have any theories as to how there's a preponderance of evidence showing that the Grazing Reserves Law of 1964 is obsolete that it was only applicable in the northern region, and that the land use senior lawyers have spoken, the NBA have spoken, they have endorsed the legality of the ban on open grazing. We have others like Dr. Ajibola Bashiru as well, who have also spoken on this matter. We have Femi Falana, and yet the AGF and the president are in cahoots on, pursuing this grazing route and recovering it. So what would you say? What would you say is responsible for this? What theories do you have as to what is causing that?
I've already said this thing earlier, that there is a difference between law and there's another thing about politics. Politics itself is a powerful that people have to supersede the collective will of the people backed by law. As it is, the governors are spoken, which is tandem with the law. The people are with the governors, and I pray may the governors never compromise their position as it is. So if that one has been, and if we can maintain this, all those noise, and cries of the few that believe whatsoever. But what matters most is that the law will continue to prevail and the will of the people will prevail. That one is as simple as it is so clear. And again, I do ask myself some questions. Apart from the fact that this is the country, they need to know the international dimension, the way the people from other countries, the way they feel about it. Some days back, I was in the UK. I had some secret meeting. Most of the discussion is everybody asking me, hey, Dr. Ajula, your country is like they don't obey law. How do you want us to come to this country to apply business when even the law you made, nobody will obey it? You can see what that one is. And that's why you see some of us, we are so passionate about ensuring that the right thing is done. Because in a situation where you fail to do that, it has another adverse effect to our development as a nation. And that's why we should just stay the course. The right thing shall be done. And that won't start. I keep on saying, I'm with you.
If that is the body language of the presidency, the AGF has, been vocal about this before. Garba Shehu, has always released press statements when the issue of ban on open grazing comes up. And before that, many felt that, okay, maybe that is not exactly, the mood of the president or what the president is saying. But now that the president himself, has come out to say it, how do governors now implement these laws? Despite the fact that, a ban on open grazing has even been on in some states, or your state, for instance, you still find cattle, being taken around the place, even here in, Abeokuta. So, because the governors do not have the enforce this ban on open grazing, given that the presidency, the federal government, which controls the police, is not in tandem with them.
The power, they don't control the police. Look, this is so clear. I'm speaking the law. The governors has power to control it. And apart from that, when you look at the real fundamental, the real definition of police, it doesn't have to be the Nigerian police possible. The law, policing, until we understand that we know what we are talking about. I mean, mind you, our laws, even federal law, empower private citizens to make some arrests, to enforce some law. All of us, we have the right to enforce that law. And as it is, the ban on open grazing is on in those states. It is the duty of the government and the government of those states to conscientize, to orientate the people, to know what to do at what time. I have said that. I've sent message to my people. Anytime what matters most, once the will of the people is in tandem with the law, and they go with their government, everything will be. We've had even during the destructive regime of the military, the Abacha, the Babangida, despite the fact that we are having maximum leaders. The whims and caprices of those leaders there never prevail over the people. The same way, not to talk of during democratic dispensation in Nigeria, it can't, we shall prevail. That's what is so certain.
Now, the Ministry of Agriculture has already embarked on the process of recovering these grazing routes, as directed by the president and by the president. What do you think the states should do? I mean, they certainly cannot arrest those who are going to recover that grazing route. So where do you see this ending? What sort of conclusion or outcome do you see playing out, seeing as they've already begun recovering some of these grazing routes in what they say are non-conflict areas? What will the governors do, seeing as this is in defiance of their ban on open grazing?
I don't want to believe that the government, I don't want to believe that anybody, be the MDA or the ministry, has embarked on any recovery of any route, because there's no route. And immediately I read that, I quickly contacted I'm from Ondo State, particularly in Akoko South East local government. And I've already sent wars over to check if there's anything going on in that area, because they knew what to do. Nobody has ever come there. I know nobody will ever come there. And if that one should be, it will be recited as permissible by law. And that is the way, and I believe that is the position I believe everybody should take. Not only the government, individuals. Because when you talk of freedom of movement, the same way you have freedom of expression to hold of your own interest. And what matters most is to continue to defend that at all times. And like I said, I mentioned something about individual citizen policing, community policing. Section 14 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act empower everybody to make arrests at any time, and this is federal law. And you have not until when you get to the police. And I believe that is what it is. I want to believe this one is just a farce. You need to show me the law that designates my area as grazing route. You have to govern Nigeria by law. The position of the president, before even becoming the president, before even qualifying to contest as the president, before going through the primary, the law is what is used to attain that office. The office of president is even created by law. Then how come you are now want to tell me that you want to rule and you want to govern Nigeria through your whims and caprices? It can't work. It can never.
But then, when citizens, just like you said, make these arrests, they still have to hand them over to the federal police, who will eventually be in charge of prosecution if it will eventually happen. So, how do you still think that this will, sail through at the point where it gets to the police?
If you say true, if I make an arrest today and the police decide to do otherwise, which is not in tandem with the law, you know the next thing to do. The law will take its course, and whosoever the police that can do that will find itself in trouble. And these are the things we need to know. Until we understand the power, the efficacy of our law, and how to enforce that right and law, then things will start working in this country. Until some police officers, you have power to appoint, to fire, and to hire someone. You have some control and commands over. The question is that what are our governors doing over that? Each time you see them, they say we don't have control over the people. Meanwhile, the constitution has given them the control. I think all matters is to really have a grasp of this law and to appoint the right people to advise when they come to the issue of law. I don't think we have this. Most of the problems we have in this country is just a simple thinking, strategy. Things will work well. That's why some of these people are always thinking, like somebody say, if someone should do anything, community crime, I should hand over the suspect person to the police, and the police fail to take the necessary action, then that means that the police is in conspiracy with such person. At the right time, we get to report, two of them will be liable to whatever it is. And if one or two or three commissioners of police are liable, you see what it is. That was the time I will mention the commissioner of the state. This issue came over. He paid so much amount of money to the claimant because he paid to her. But nobody will bring that one to court. So what I'm saying is Nigeria needs to be informed. Nigeria needs to know their rights and they need to enforce it. At the right time, at the end of the day, we'll be happy and we'll sing that we have overcome.
Thank you for speaking with us, Kayode Ajulo.
Thank you. I'm very good.
All right. We have been speaking with Kayode Ajulo, who is a lawyer seeking legal interpretation of recent developments on the subject of open grazing and the president's directive that the grazing routes be resuscitated. Now, before we get to the telephone lines and take your calls as well as read comments on social media, let's listen to another lawyer, senior lawyer this time. That's Femi Falana. He, gave an interesting historical detailing of the subject of grazing reserves in the First Republic.
The president alluded to the situation in the First Republic of the regions. We had, of course, and this started from the colonial regime, the grazing reserves law, but the last one was in 1964. At that time, it was only applicable to the northern region. The law was not in existence in the western region, in the midwestern region, and in the eastern region. The southern region had ranches. I recall in the case of Southwest, you had ranches in Epe, in Iseyin, in Akunu, in Ondo State, somewhere in Ijebu, Okeako in Ekiti State now, and these ranches were actually established in 1956 by a Scottish. Now, that was taken over by the Eastern Regional Government. And until very recently, I think on the 3 decades ago, it was Obudu Cattle Ranch. Under the military, it became Obudu Holiday Resort. So we didn't have a uniform policy on animal husbandry. The regions were on their own, and that was the beauty of federalism. Every region had its own policy at that time, and this is very crucial. It couldn't have been a national policy. The grazing reserve at that time, and this is very important, I've made this point over and over again, and nobody has challenged me. Nobody was moving cattle from the north to the south at that time because there was no basis for it. And so, if the president now has directed the Attorney General to go around looking for grazing routes, they are just not there. Even in the north, events have overtaken them. The grazing reserves of the First Republic have been seized by latifundis and other absentee farmers over there. So it's going to be a serious legal battle to reclaim some of them.
Welcome back, Femi, as well. So let's get to the phone lines now to get you involved in the conversation this morning. We had hoped to have join us on the program this morning as well. Another guest, Mr. Olaniyi Sholabumi, who is an
animal husbandry expert.
Expert, yes.
To help us shed some light on modern. To help us shed some light on, modern cattle rearing techniques, because a lot of people say that, this is 2021, and many people have moved past the nomadic way of rearing cattle, the pastoralist lifestyle. And we do know that the pastoralist lifestyle is what is causing these conflicts, because, in the process of the cattle rearers taking their cows, they encroach on other people's lands, they run into farmers. And so we're going to talk to him about some modern cattle rearing techniques. But unfortunately, due to some unforeseen circumstances, he cannot join us this morning. However, you can join us. So not only can you call us right now, you can also send 0704 400 1067.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Afolabi is my name. I'm calling from Abeokuta.
You have the floor, Afolabi.
Yes, I want to thank the lawyer and the words from Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana. They have really educated us about the whole issue. And it is something very annoying, something that gives me concern when we are in a country whereby we have constitutions that we think is working, but even the people that are supposed to execute this law are the ones going against it. It is a great problem for this country. And I am seeing it from an angle of some people have that deliberate attitude of causing problem for the country. Meanwhile, let us continue to go against those people that want to plunge us into another civil war. They will not come out to say they are the ones behind this act, but they begin to blame other tribes. They want to plunge us, because if they should try and go ahead with this kind of thing that doesn't exist, which they want to create by their illusion, then they will cause problem for this country, and it might land us into another civil war. I pray there won't be civil war again in this country.
Amen. Thank you very much, Afolabi, for your contribution. You too can join us. Don't forget that you have Facebook as well. There's another channel where you can also let us in on your thoughts this morning. The phone lines are 704 400 1067 0817 444 1067 0817 555 1067. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Monday to you, Nicholas.
Nicholas, good morning.
Happy Monday to you, Nicholas.
Yeah, thank you very much. And a happy belated Father's Day to all fathers in the world,
Indeed.
especially in Nigeria, who cope with the recession and the insecurity levels, and the women who support them. And long life to you, Gboyega.
Thank you, Nicholas.
And prosperity.
Amen. Thank you.
And long life to the founding fathers and mothers of Splash FM.
Amen.
Thank
I have to use mothers before Lola stated them.
you. Nicholas.
But now, to my point, it's unfortunate that the president is going back to a pre-colonial law while we are an independent state. Justice Adewale Thompson, as of 1969, has given a judgment. And let me just give you a part of it. It says, sequel to this, I ban open grazing, for it is inimical to peace and tranquility, and the cattle owners must fence or ranch their animals for peace to reign in these communities. And this law has never been repealed. I don't know why Malami does not know of this law. I don't know of it, but he's trying to practice casuistry, which is the one use of cleverness. Now, it's unfortunate Professor Gambari at 77, who was privileged to attend King's College, London Economics, and spent time in New York with the director with the UN, has appeared to show more sympathy for cows than for humans and human rights. Next time he gets to UK and they will remind him of the lawlessness, he should remind the British that they instituted slavery, colonialism, apartheid, and homosexuality, which has caused all problems in Africa and Nigeria. That was love of lawlessness. It was more out of lawlessness and consciencelessness. And so Malami, the spear part traders in the north don't destroy, rape, kill. If I love peace and I tend to use Sahelian sand, I don't need to force the people in Kano to love my peace. I can only go to Kano, get a match, and sell my peace to the Christians who eat pork and the Muslims who eat pork. And I have friends like that. But the point is that why people are talking about food and space on a Monday morning like this, we are talking of cows. This thing sometimes is annoying and it's discriminating. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. Have a nice day yourself. WhatsApp available, Facebook available. The phone lines are also very much available.
Speaking of WhatsApp, we have a comment from Olajua from Italshin, but we'll get to that after this telephone call.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name?
My name is Larry Waji. I'm calling from Abando.
You have the floor, Larry Waji.
Yeah, thank you very much. I don't know, maybe you can give us the paper. You can be able to speak with Malami. Because I don't know how you can compare a step seller to cattle movie. Even a bad seller, we have to have a shop. Before I cannot just work rotation with anybody. You see, those people who are in the position of a quota system, they are creating problems in this country. Who are the law? We are the law. I don't even understand. Common sense, they don't apply it. They will just say anything they like. When people, they move cows, it will destroy land. If they challenge them with destroying their land, they will kill you. And you are thinking that that cow must be protected than human being. May God save us. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
Larry
very
Waji,
much.
for your contribution. Olajuwon says it is indeed obvious that Buhari and was a decree by the Northern Premier. I'll get to the rest of Olajuwon's comments after this call.
Hello, good morning. Please go on.
Permit me to say this, that it is an extra limited so good for people just to foment trouble. And I won't pray, I'm a shepherd, and my prayer is that Lord give you to create in this getting so important. You can pay for what you are undergoing. But by and large, our own people, our offers must be on their toes. Our legislators must be on their toes, and government must be on their toes, because some people are trying to carry one agenda. I don't know how. I mean, the agenda. I don't get it. We take up from here, we go to Anagada, from Anagada to offer. That is the and from there to our ministerial. I think it's practical. Not like good, but our own people cannot do that. Now, every day is hope. That is loan. You do what you say that.
1067 0817 555 1067 0704 400 1067. Let me finish with Olajuwon's thoughts. He says, with all these facts, the president still insists on creating grazing routes regardless of the cry from the generality of Nigerians that they do not want it.
Let's see if you can make this quick. Good morning to you.
Okay, I will try. Good morning. Olabode Agiri is my name.
Oh, I hope you will try indeed. Please go on.
You know what? I think one thing has to give in for the other. I talked about our area of southwest and south leaders, which this open grazing is just one of them. So I mean, stuff like this just can't be compromised in the round table of discussion at the federal level, even if it means putting on the line their next political ambition. Now, critically speaking, I'm not satisfied with consensus pronouncements and resolutions anymore. So what we want Abuja metropolis, you still see all these these cattle being grazed, So it's even a disgrace. It's an embarrassment that you are even we're rocking back and forth over this obsolete issues in this 21st century.
Thank you very much.
I could say it was a struggle trying to condense your thoughts into a minute or less. But we do have to go on a commercial break. When we come back, we'll take the rest of your comments on social media. Stay with us.
Splash FM 106.7.
lójoojúmọ́ ní iléeṣẹ́ IAS ń fakọyọ. ẹ̀yin oníbàárà wa gan ni àṣírí àṣeyọrí rere wa ní gbogbo ìgbà. ọlọ́run àwa ń dúpẹ́ o. àmọ̀rírì ìfẹ́ tó o ní sí wa. torí ìwọ gan ni onídùúró tiwa. ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ IAS. tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ jẹ nínú àǹfààní ẹ̀dínwó tí ò láfiwé 50% discount. kí èèyàn fowó ọ̀làjì púlọ̀tì. dáwọ́dídí púlọ̀tì kan ní iléeṣẹ́ IAS tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. ní ìsàmìsí ayé ọdún karùn-ún tí wọ́n dá iléeṣẹ́ IAS sílẹ̀. ẹ wá gbọ́. láti June 16 ṣètẹ̀. ọbọ̀dọ̀ extension láṣípa. tẹ̀ tí ń rà ní 750,000 naira tẹ́lẹ̀. lè máa rà báyìí ní 500,000 naira péré. láàpọ̀ bá pín. tètè kàn sí iléeṣẹ́ IAS tó bá súnmọ́ jùlọ. pé 08092944848. pẹ̀lú oṣù kẹfà yìí láǹfààní yìí máa dópin o.
Attain the knowledge you require to join the Broadcasting Media Academy courses include Introduction to Presentation, Basic Production, Digital Media, Yoruba Presentation, plus interactive practical mentorship session with veterans and industrial placement. To register, visit the Splash FM